Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, President Trump marks 100 days in office. There's been a shooting in Times Square, and news from Barbara Streisand. ABC News exclusive. President Trump one-on-one, marking 100 days back in office, on tariffs, China, and telling Americans to hang tough.
But hard times are ahead?
I don't think so. I think great times are ahead.
The Kilmar Abrego Garcia case and the Supreme Court ruling.
I follow the law.
Severe weather sweeping across the middle of the country. At least 3 tornadoes confirmed. Powerful winds shredding this barn. Cars and roads underwater. Ginger is tracking the threats.
Jam-packed skies. This morning, what the FAA says it will do to open up more airspace over one state and what it means for your summer travel plans.
Bill Belichick on defense. The Super Bowl winning coach facing new questions about his relationship after his girlfriend shared a fiery email from him on social media. And a recent interview gains new attention.
Key testimony in the Karen Reed trial. A family friend of her police officer boyfriend describing searching for him and finding his body buried in the snow.
Runaway boat rescue. After the driver was thrown overboard, the unmanned boat circling out of control. We hear from the police officer who jumped into action to stop it.
We've had enough waiting.
We are the Thunderbolts!
The stars of the new Marvel blockbuster are taking over after Jason Tatum took over, leading the Celtics to advance. As the Pacers move on after an overtime thriller.
Here's a drive to deep center.
Plus, gold on the diamond.
And did he catch that ball? He caught that ball!
And Barbara Streisand with a big announcement this morning. We've waited long enough.
Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Oh, did he actually catch the ball? I was a little confused there.
I think he did.
Okay. Why would we be showing it if he did? Good morning, America. A lot to get to, including the new report that tells us about the state of the economy and the early impact of the president's tariffs as ports now see huge drops in container ship traffic.
Also ahead, we are tracking the urgent search for a shooter in Times Square. The shooting happened just hours ago.
Yeah, right here in our neighborhood. We're going to begin with our ABC News exclusive. President Trump's one-on-one interview as he marks his first 100 days in office. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran sat down with the president in the Oval Office. He joins us now. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. On his 100th day in office in his second term, it was a great opportunity to hear from President Trump on a wide range of issues, and he came to play. He wanted to defend his policies with vigor on immigration, on the Ukraine war, and most importantly, that all-important issue, the economy. You said something a couple weeks ago that struck me. You said concerning the tariffs, which economists say are going to raise prices, you said, quote, hang tough. Yeah. It won't be easy. You said that to the American people. Is that what Americans should expect, some hard times?
I've said that during my campaign. Look, we won a campaign by a lot. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. You know, we had a tremendous campaign. I said all these things during my campaign. I said, you're going to have a transition period. We've been ripped off by every country all over the world. They're laughing at us. They thought we were stupid people, and we were. And I said, that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen.
Hard times are ahead?
I don't think so. I think great times are ahead. Look, since I came in, gasoline is down, groceries are down, egg prices are down, many things are down, just about everything. You know, you don't have the drop in fuel and energy and oil like we did. I took it from maybe $3.20, maybe more than that, down into a much lower number. When you have that kind of a drop, you're not going to have inflation.
Not now, but it's the tariffs, right? We still have 145% tariffs on China. Your Treasury Secretary said we basically have an embargo on China.
Look, you're trying to say something's going to happen, Terry.
No, okay, well,
nothing's going to happen.
You know business.
Terry,
I want to ask you.
I do know business.
Yes, so 145% tariffs on China, and that's
good.
Basically an embargo.
They deserve it.
It'll raise prices on everything from electronics to clothing to building houses.
You don't know that. You don't know whether or not China's going to eat it.
That's mathematics.
China probably will eat those tariffs, but at 145, they basically can't do much business with the United States. And They were making from us $1 trillion a year. They were ripping us off like nobody's ever ripped us off. And by the way, we have other countries that were just as bad. If you look at the European Union, it was terrible what they've done to us. Every country, almost every country in the world was ripping us off. They're not doing that anymore.
Let me ask you about one man and one court order. Kilmer Abrego Garcia. He's the Salvadoran man who crossed into this country illegally, but who is under a protective order that he not be sent back to El Salvador. Your government sent him back to El Salvador and acknowledged in court that was a mistake. And now the Supreme Court has upheld an order that you must return him to facilitate his return to the United States. What are you doing to comply?
Well, the lawyer that said it was a mistake was here a long time, was not appointed by us, should not have said that, And just so you understand, the person that you're talking about, you know, you're making this person sound, this is a MS-13 gang member, a tough cookie, been in lots of skirmishes, beat the hell out of his wife, and the wife was petrified to even talk about him, okay? This is not an innocent, wonderful gentleman from Maryland.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. It's about the rule of law. The order from the Supreme Court stands, sir.
He came into our country illegally.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has ordered you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making this decision. We have lawyers that don't want to do this.
But the buck stops in this office.
No. I follow the law.
Throughout our interview, the president also discussed the war in Ukraine, and he said that he still believes that Vladimir Putin wants peace. We also talked about that measles outbreak, and the president did recommend that parents get their kids vaccinated. For that, he also gave us a little tour of what he's done to the Oval Office, and you can see the entire interview in its entirety on Hulu, streaming on Hulu. Michael?
All right, there, Terry, great job, and definitely looking forward to watching the entire interview. And President Trump addressed a rally last night, addressed a crowd at a rally last night in Michigan. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, was there for us. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, Michael, good morning to you. Yes, the president was here in Michigan marking his first 100 days in office. As he defends his tariff policy, it's also clear he's trying to soften the blow. The president and the White House announcing some small relief for automakers, saying that those 25% tariffs on all foreign cars and auto parts that are made outside of the United States will still remain in place, but there will be no additional tariffs for automakers on any steel and aluminum imports, which are widely used also for manufacturing. It comes as businesses and countries across the country are really grappling with those 145% tariffs that are still in place on Chinese imports. We are learning that Amazon admitting that they were considering a proposal for one of their smaller divisions, Amazon Haul, to show just how much more customers would be paying because of the president's tariffs. But amid pressure from the White House and the president himself, Amazon now backing away from that idea. I'm told by sources that the president was so frustrated when he got word of it that he personally called Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to complain about it. Within hours of their phone call, Amazon then releasing a statement saying this was never approved and is not going to happen. The president, before he departed for Michigan, praising Bezos, saying that he made the right call and solved the problem very quickly, Robin.
All right, Rachel, our thanks to you. We've got a key measure of economic growth out this morning. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here to break down what the numbers may indicate. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Robin. And the reason we care about this report is it's an important gauge of how U.S. companies and the economy are reacting to the president's tariff announcement. GDP falling 0.3% in the first 3 months of this year. That's the first decline we've experienced since 2022, when the U.S. was still dealing with the COVID pandemic. The biggest driver, however, of this big drop is a surge in imports, with American companies racing to stockpile merchandise and supplies ahead of the tariffs kicking in, with a now 145% tariff on Chinese products coming into the U.S. Our ports have experienced a big drop in ship container traffic, down as much as 36% from last year. And now that we know that many of these big companies got ahead of tariffs, it could mean that we get a little bit longer reprieve before higher prices kick in for consumers, likely later this summer. George.
Okay, Rebecca, thanks for returning out of the destructive storms from New York to Texas. Heavy rain is causing flash floods as well. Ginger, of course, is tracking it. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning. 2 people died in Pennsylvania in 2 separate incidents, one in State College, one in Pittsburgh, both involving power lines, unfortunately. So that was all from this derecho, this long line of storms that kind of bows out. You can see it on the radar there, plowing through Ohio and then Pennsylvania. The severe thunderstorms attached to that had easily 70-plus mile-per-hour gusts from New York back through West Virginia and even Texas and Oklahoma.
Vicious storms tearing into Texas. Winds over 70 miles per hour stripping branches from trees. This barn shredded.
That's poor horses, man. Yeah.
Horses running for cover as they're getting pelted with hail.
Oh, they're falling over there.
Roofs torn apart in Missouri. A tree crashing through a home in the city of Willard. Cars surrounded by flash flooding. In Springfield, Missouri, winds up to 90 miles per hour, damaging this maintenance facility at the airport. In western Pennsylvania,
yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty scary.
Roofs torn from businesses, power lines coming down, one pole landing on this car. More than 500,000 customers lost power. In Pittsburgh, a tiki boat capsizing on the Mon River. The boat operator had just dropped passengers off when winds flipped it over.
That boat operator did get out of there safely, thankfully. This morning, we start with a severe thunderstorm watch already along the Red River, kind of centered there between Oklahoma and Texas. So traveling I-35, please watch out. And if you're in Dallas, I want you to pay close attention because you're leaving for work. You're thinking, okay, I got to get my stuff together. Today's not the day to go out for lunch because by noon, 1 p.m., lightning, flash flooding, and even the chance of tornadoes as this blasts to the east. So it's going to be an early part of the day with the elevated risk for strong tornadoes kind of focused there, but up to Texarkana, Tyler's involved, southeastern Oklahoma too. Not only is it about the damaging wind threat, but we've been so super saturated. Oklahoma City already on this last day of April had their second wettest April on record so far, but more rain's coming and on the order of 3 to 6 inches. So Dallas, Paris, and Fort Smith all the way into the Ozarks there, you are going to look for a significant level 3 out of 4 risk of flash flooding today and tonight.
Well, a lot of rain there, Ginger. Thank you. Thank you for that. We're going to turn now to the search for a shooter after a man was shot here in Times Square just a few hours ago. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has the latest. Good morning, Aaron.
Michael, it was just before 5 o'clock in the morning, right over there by the red stairs here in Times Square, when a food cart worker seemed to get caught in the middle of a dispute among 3 guys. He was shot in the right arm. Thankfully, he's going to be okay. He was taken to the hospital. He's in stable condition. For a while, there was a brief manhunt as police taped off parts of Times Square. They now have taken 3 individuals into custody. They think one of them could be the shooter. It's not clear what exactly started this dispute, but the food truck vendor just got caught in the middle of it. Now, as you can see, pedestrians can pass by, guys, but for a while, a short time ago, it was a little scary. Robin?
Absolutely so, Aaron. Thank you so much for your reporting on this.
We're going to turn now to the FAA, preparing for the busy summer travel season and what they are saying they will do to open up more airspace over one state. Our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez, is here in the studio, not at an airport somewhere. So it's good to see you here, Gio. Good morning.
It is good to see you, Michael. Yeah, the summer skies are already looking packed. The FAA is expecting several days of more than 50,000 flights in the air. New York, Chicago, San Francisco, they're going to be seeing a good portion of them. But it is Florida that's seeing the busiest air traffic, and that's what worries the FAA. So here's the problem. Last year, weather-related delays were up 40%. And Florida, of course, is known for those summer storms. So the FAA is opening up more flight routes and layers, as they call them, in the skies over Jacksonville, essentially air highways at different altitudes. They also have to worry about all of those space launches on both American coasts, about 20 launches a month right now. So at the end of the day, the only thing you can do is to get to the airport early. And if you see that bad weather, prepare for delays, guys.
And we got to be prepared for real ID, and I know you'll be back in our next hour to tell us about that. All right, Gio, thank you. Now, though, the NBA playoffs, 4 big games last night. Will Reed was following them all for us. Good morning.
Sure was. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, everyone. We're going to start in a place we haven't really visited so far. It's the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. The series, we haven't talked about it much. We got plenty to discuss this morning. We head straight to overtime. The Bucks down 3-1 in the series. They lose, they're done. Under a minute to go, they're up 7 points. Their chances of survival are looking good, right? Nope. The Pacers go on an 8-0 run in the final 40 seconds. They win the game and the series. That last-second layup by Tyrese Halliburton, the superstar, passed Giannis Antetokounmpo. George, what are they doing to your boy? Everyone is revved up in Indy. Halliburton's dad, John, a little too much so. He ended up coming on the court and confronting Giannis, getting in his face multiple times. They had to be separated After the game, Halliburton, the son, said his dad was in the wrong. Giannis said it was unacceptable. Look how close they are there. But they spoke after the game. Things should be copacetic and cool eventually. Things less okay for the Knicks at home against the Pistons. New York trying to close out their series, but the Pistons, who last year, guys, won 14 games, had other plans. Cade Cunningham, he's becoming a superstar on the biggest stage. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Nobody on the Knicks even scored 20. Jalen Brunson had a really down night by his standards. The Pistons win by 3. They drag the series back to Detroit for Game 6. Michael, they never make it easy. And in the other 2 games, the Clippers are now on the brink of elimination. They lost by 16 to the Nuggets in Denver in Game 5, so the Nuggets are up there. And the defending champion Celtics took care of business. They made light work of Orlando. Boston into the second round. They await the winner of Knicks Pistons, which we will get eventually, but...
Do we know what sparked that confrontation?
Yeah. Yes, so Halliburton, the dad, was courtside. He runs out as the game is over, and he just stands in front of Giannis and starts cursing at him, Giannis said, and then they met up again at half court, and not a great scene.
Yeah, not a great scene. And well, usually they ban you, keep you off the...
Well, we will see. The Pacers move on. We'll see where Mr. Halliburton sits.
Well, your son's a star player. He's going to be sitting right there on the court.
All right, you guys, thank you. Thanks, Will. Hey, coming up, Eva Pilgrim is here with news about Bill Belichick. Eva?
Hey, Robin, the 6-time Super Bowl winning head coach is making headlines, but not in the sports pages. Video of his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, shutting down a TV interview, plus news of her inclusion on emails related to the college football program he's running, raising eyebrows. I'll have all the details coming up, George.
Also, key testimony in the Karen Reed murder retrial from the woman who was with Reed when they found her boyfriend buried in the snow.
And new at 7:30, a major recall from General Motors.
Oh, you did.
Yes, I did. Coming up, the new Marvel Dream Team getting a lot of buzz right now. We're going to finish this conversation, Robin. We have the Thunderbolts here live in Times Square.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road
and back again.
Who's singing?
Back to GMA. You don't want to miss why we are playing this song we love so much. Lara has a story coming up in our play of the day.
You don't want to miss is what's been going on here during commercial breaks.
We can do a whole show on commercial break, what we talk during the commercial break.
Oh, boy. Why you? I'm innocent bystander.
First new at 7:30, including the picket lines in Los Angeles. Tens of thousands of lost L.A. County workers, including nurses and social workers, marched in downtown L.A. demanding a new labor contract. Some protesters blocked traffic, some arrests were made. Strike is expected to last 48 hours, could impact non-urgent health clinics, libraries, garbage services, and wildfire cleanup. Also, General Motors is recalling some 600,000 U.S. full-size trucks and SUVs over fears their engines could fail without warning. The recall involves several models with V8 engines manufactured between 2021 to 2024, including Chevy Silverado, Suburban, and Tahoe, and GMC Sierra and Yukon models.
And you have to take a look at this catch of the year contender. The Red Sox again at bat against the Blue Jays. The ball is hit deep. And when this happens, look at that catch. Toronto outfielder Dalton Varsho. He trips at the warning track, but somehow he scrambles up and he catches it backhanded. He is a Gold Glove outfielder. Wow. So that shows why he's a Gold Glove outfielder. With that right there, that catch, you call that pure gold. And what makes it even better?
He couldn't do that again.
He doesn't have to. What makes it even better is that this is his season debut after coming back from a shoulder injury. So he came back strong. I love it.
Yeah, that was something. We're going to turn now to Bill Belichick. He's facing questions about his relationship after a recent interview and an email his girlfriend shared on social media. Eva Pilgrim here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. The internet and social media is obsessed with this story. People who aren't even into football are wondering what's going on.
This morning, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, publicly airing the coach's complaints on social media, sharing an email where he vents about how his new book is being promoted. One of the quotes reads, "I am not going to be the conductor of a hype train in the book promotion. We have enough hype to work with." The post set to the tune of Taylor Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do." This comes after a recent CBS Sunday Morning interview is drawing renewed attention to their relationship.
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
His 24-year-old girlfriend interrupting after the 73-year-old was asked how the two met. The two have said in the past they first met on a plane in 2021.
Wait, so is this story of them meeting on a plane actually a complete hoax?
After the interview, Hudson resharing this old post on her Instagram story. The caption, "Happy Meetiversary, Bill Belichick," showing a video of a textbook the coach autographed for her that day, signing, "Thanks for giving me a course on logic. Safe travels." Hudson, who has posted a different side of Belichick on her Instagram page, has been spotted repeatedly alongside him, including at UNC football practices, where Belichick became head coach in December after winning 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots.
This woman, Jordan, is like on the field during practices with the Tar Heels.
It's her world, and Bill is just living in it.
The Athletic recently examined Hudson's role with Belichick's new team. The newspaper obtaining emails showing the coach asking a university employee to add his girlfriend to certain emails. Hudson's signature listing her as COO of Belichick Productions.
Okay, so Jordan Hudson teased that a full statement was coming yesterday. We still haven't seen that, but we will certainly be looking out for it, guys.
Hey, he looks happy. I'm happy for him. What?
Nothing. Okay. All right.
Somebody else's relationship, I don't really worry about it that much, but
yes,
if he's happy, I'm happy.
Okay, then.
I'm just going to shut up.
I just report the facts. That's it. Eva, thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. We got a dramatic testimony at the Karen Reed trial. A key witness describing how she and Reed searched for Reed's police officer boyfriend, found him buried in the snow. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman has more for us. Good morning to you, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Robin. And this witness, Jen McCabe, is so critical to the prosecution because of what she testifies she heard Karen Reed repeatedly ask the morning they found John O'Keefe's body. Did I hit him? Now, the defense says, hey, this was just a question. The prosecution claims it shows consciousness of guilt, meaning Reed was fully aware she had hit O'Keefe with her SUV.
This morning, that key witness taking the stand in Karen Reed's retrial for murder. The 45-year-old accused of hitting her police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, with her SUV and leaving him to die in a blizzard after a night of drinking back in 2022. Jennifer McCabe, a friend of O'Keefe's, telling the jury she saw Reed's black Lexus parked outside the home of a late-night gathering where the officer's body would later be found. Though McCabe testified that neither O'Keefe nor Reed came into the house that night.
I saw a dark SUV out front.
Did you know whose SUV that was?
I believed it was Karen's.
Then at about 5 a.m., when Karen Reed realized that O'Keefe hadn't come home, she frantically called O'Keefe's friends, Jen McCabe and Kerry Roberts. And so the three of them set out on a pre-dawn search to find O'Keefe. McCabe testifying that before they ventured out, Reed pointed out her SUV's busted taillight.
At one point, when we were in the driveway, Karen showed myself and Kerry Roberts the cracked taillight. The taillight was missing pieces.
Kerry Roberts, in an exclusive interview with us, recounting her suspicion about Reed when somehow, in the dark, she made out O'Keefe in the snow despite the howling blizzard.
She saw him on the lawn, and I didn't. She was kicking the door to get out, and I literally looked at Jen and said, she's crazy. What is she talking about?
Meaning it seemed like she knew where to look.
The whole point was we were looking for him, and I didn't see him. Even after her saying, there he is, I didn't see him because it was so snowy. You couldn't see.
And McCabe detailing the moment she saw her friend's body in the snow after Kerry Roberts jumped out just behind Karen Reed.
It wasn't until I got very close over to them that I saw Kerry removing the snow from John's face. I was frozen. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that was him just lying there.
Prosecutors say Reed asked McCabe to Google how long to die in cold after they discovered O'Keefe's unconscious body. But Reed's legal team asserting the internet search was made hours beforehand. Reed reacting to McCabe's testimony outside of court.
Oh, I have nothing to say to Jen McCabe. I would say the dash cam and the 911 calls speak for themselves.
Now, Jen McCabe has been the target of harassment and threats by Karen Reed supporters for 3 years now, largely because Reed's team has suggested that she is tied to an alleged police cover-up of John O'Keefe's death. Now, later today, we're likely to hear a lot more about the timing of a Google search McCabe made that the defense has said is key to proving that alleged police cover-up. Guys.
And we knew you'd be covering that for us, Matt. Thank you so much. Now, with the operation at sea to stop a runaway boat in the waters off Florida, and it was all captured on camera. Janae Norman is here with the story. Good morning again, Janae.
Hey, Michael. Beautiful day out boating until suddenly there was a single boat circling with no one at the wheel, topping 40 miles per hour and taking more than an hour to get under control. This morning, a high-speed rescue of an unmanned runaway boat caught on camera in Sarasota Bay. Police leaping on board. The out-of-control vessel spotted circling at 40 miles per hour after the driver was knocked overboard by a large wake. The Sarasota Police Marine Unit jumping into action, making multiple attempts to stop it before they were able to use a tow line to finally slow it down and hop on board.
He put me up next to the boat, put me in the right position, and I was able to board the boat and turn it off.
The officers who stopped it now speaking out. They say it took about an hour to take control, the driver sustaining minor injuries.
When he had gotten thrown out of the vessel, it was traveling about 40 miles an hour. Ended up breaking a couple fingers on his left hand. He realizes how extremely lucky he was.
Austin Matlian, a former Eagle Scout, also raced in to help, pulling that driver to safety.
I just immediately knew, I'm like, I need to get this guy out of the water because that boat was not very far from us. Every time it made a circle, it got closer and closer.
Police say the driver had been running with two other boats and was going faster than he should have been when one cut him off. So they say it's important to remember to drive and boat within your abilities.
Yes.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but a lot of people hopped in to help there.
Absolutely, because that was terrifying.
Yeah,
for sure.
terrifying.
Yeah.
All right, today, thank you. Now with our play of the day and some news from the Philadelphia Zoo. You got that for us, Larry.
I do, Robin. Good morning to you. Breaking baby animal news for you. We've got a very sweet update on the 4 Western Santa Cruz Galapagos tortoises born at the Philadelphia Zoo in February. Aren't they cute? Their birth was a huge step in the preservation of the species and pretty amazing because their mom was 97 years old. Well, last week, our Ike Ajache got to meet the little guys before they made their public debut, and now the zoo has announced that they have names. In a tribute to the iconic sitcom, The Golden Girls, the tortoises have been named Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia.
That's great.
More than 13,000 people voted for those names. And to the Philadelphia Zoo, we say thank you for being a friend, for helping those little guys and letting us visit the adorable hatchlings. Really clever.
Got my vote.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thanks
Hopefully
so much.
a lot of people will visit and we'll have more babies of that species.
The card attached would say. There you go. Thank you, Larry.
I'm sparing America my singing voice. I'll whisper it.
Coming up, we're going to show you how to tariff-proof your kitchen, the staples to buy now before prices rise, and the Thunderbolts taking over.
Yes.
Stars of the new Marvel movie, live here in Times Square this morning. Come on back.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Severe weather sweeps across the middle of the country. At least 3 tornadoes confirmed. Powerful winds shred this barn. Cars and roads underwater. Ginger tracking the threats.
Michael Bolton talking about his brain cancer for the first time. What the Grammy winner is saying about his health right now. Why he's not letting anything stop him from living. And how he's staying connected to his music.
Bringing the thunder.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Marvel's new team is live in Times Square.
This could get messy.
As we get ready for the action-packed adventure to finally hit the big screen.
And they're here to say,
Good morning, America!
Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America, everybody. We're excited to have the Thunderbolts here in Times Square. And Rebecca, she's going to show us how you can carrot-proof your pantry before prices rise. The staples to stock up on, plus the foods that may not see price increases.
All right, and we're just a week away from the Real ID deadline, the new card you need to board a domestic flight. Gio is here with what you need to know right now.
First, look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the destructive storms from New York to Texas and the heavy rain that's causing flash floods. Ginger tracking it all. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, George. At least 2 people were killed in 2 separate incidences in Pennsylvania, one in State College, one in Pittsburgh, and both having to do with downed power lines from this derecho, this damaging wind that blew through not just there, but all the way back to Texas. We had some of these more than 338 severe storm reports. Some of the hail was as big as a DVD, for those of us that remember how big that was. A severe thunderstorm watch until 8 a.m., so just a little bit longer here north and west of Dallas. That line's going to keep pushing, so if you are in Dallas-Fort Worth and you've got plans for lunch outdoors, cancel them. Not going to happen. Not just because of lightning, but you have to have 2 ways of getting a warning and have a place to shelter, because you could even see tornadoes embedded in this line. It's all the way through Texarkana. That elevated risk stays with us today. And then tomorrow it moves from Cleveland, Cincinnati, Nashville, all the way back to Austin. Michael, you remember DVDs.
I sure do. Still got a few. All right, Ginger, thank you. Now we're going to turn to UPS announcing layoffs for 20,000 workers and the closing of some facilities. Rebecca Jarvis is back with the big picture. Good morning again, Rebecca.
Yeah, nice to see you, Michael. And these are big job cuts coming to UPS. The company announcing that they will lay off those 20,000 workers and close a number of facilities as it dramatically reduces shipments of Amazon packages, something that's been in the works for quite some time. Like so many companies recently, though, UPS also saying it won't be able to forecast future guidance given the current macroeconomic uncertainty with tariffs. Railroad companies, trucking, airline, and shipping companies have all felt significant slowdowns recently, with U.S. companies effectively sitting on their hands waiting to see how long and how impactful President Trump's tariffs will be on their businesses. Shippers experienced this surge in traffic early in the year as U.S. businesses raced to get ahead of the tariffs and stockpile merchandise and supplies. And now we have this ongoing uncertainty. The more of it that we see, the longer it lasts, the more concerned economists are that it will lead to further job cuts at all sorts of companies, Robin.
Okay, and we're going to have more from you in just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, Rebecca, thanks. Now to Real ID. It is finally due to go into effect 1 week from this morning. Gio Benitez is back with what you need to know. So tell us, Gio.
Oh, Robin, that countdown, it is on. And if you don't have yours yet, you're not alone. Many people don't have this Real ID yet. So let's check out what you need to look for. In most states, you're going to look for a star in the top right there. Some states have different icons, though. So California has a bear with a star in the middle. New York even has 2 different versions. You got the standard Real ID with the star, but then you have the enhanced option that allows travel into Mexico and Canada for an additional fee. So just make sure that you're checking with your state's website to see how they're doing it. And here's what it means. Starting next week, Wednesday, May 7th, you will need that Real ID to board any domestic flights and to enter certain federal buildings. If you don't have it yet, you're going to need a passport or a passport card to get through. And listen, lines at the DMV, they are long, and many states don't even have appointments available before May 7th, but there are other options if you have certain memberships. For example, if you have AAA, they're actually allowing members in some states to make appointments at their offices to get the Real ID.
Oh, really?
And Robin, last week you asked me, what's the whole point of this? Really, it's to have minimum security requirements across the entire federal government for these IDs, no matter which state you're from.
I'm glad you did your homework.
There you go.
Yeah,
I got it.
You were set this time. Thank you, Gio, as always. And now to a recognition that's long overdue. The historic 6888 Battalion has been honored with a Congressional Gold Medal. They were the only black all-female unit to serve in Europe during World War II. The son of Commanding Officer Colonel Charity Adams Early accepting the award yesterday. And the unit story depicted in the excellent Tyler Perry movie, The 6888. They were stationed in England, working around the clock to clear a backlog of 17 million pieces of mail. Their actions are credited with boosting morale among American forces.
And they didn't make it easy on them to do it.
No, they did not make it easy. They
Like
did.
you say, long overdue. Coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, the latest on Michael Bolton talking for the first time about living with a rare brain cancer.
And Barbra Streisand is putting out a new album of duets. The list of singers, it's impressive. That's coming up in Pop News.
Plus, Lori Bergamotto is here to help us get ready to run in the GMA 5K. There she is, putting in some strides there. And Lara's with a whole team of superheroes. Hey, Lara.
Exactly. They are here, the super anti-heroes, Thunderbolts, getting all the buzz right now. Florence Pugh, Lewis Pullman, Hannah John Kamen, Wyatt Russell, Geraldine Viswanathan, all here live on Good Morning America. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's coming up.
We are back with our GMA cover story, the latest on Michael Bolton's health battle. Eva Pilgrim back with that story. Hey, Eva.
Hey, George. His music has been the soundtrack to people's lives for over 5 decades. And now, for the first time, Michael Bolton is opening up about his battle with brain cancer and why he's not letting anything stop him from living.
This morning, Michael Bolton opening up about his ongoing battle with brain cancer to People magazine. The Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter talking about his cancer for the first time, sharing, "You're reaching into your resources and resolve in a way that you never would have thought. Succumbing to the challenge is not an option." Bolton diagnosed with glioblastoma in 2023. After months of behaviors that, in hindsight, signaled to his family there was something wrong.
When this first came about, he just was not feeling well. He kind of fell ill during a performance. They didn't really know what was going on with him. And then he was just acting kind of forgetful. They had a family bowling tournament and he was, bowling out of turn, which was just a little bit of a peculiar thing to do.
His tumor was removed. He completed radiation and chemo last fall. However, he's still struggling with his short-term memory, speech, and mobility. About 12,000 cases of glioblastoma are diagnosed every year. The recurrence rate is about 90%. Bolton knows the odds. For now, he's focused on living, still taking voice lessons and spending time with his family. "I want to keep going. I feel there's still a lot to do on the fight side," he says. "I got a title for a song. Ain't going down without a fight."
And we are all cheering for him. This issue of People magazine is available on newsstands nationwide Friday. Michael.
All right, thank you, Eva. And time now for our new series, Wallet Worries. Many people are feeling financially uncertain as the White House's tariff plan plays out. Well, this morning, our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is going to show us how to tariff-proof your pantry. Good morning again.
Nice to see you again, Michael.
Yes, great to see you as always. And these tariffs, they're on a rolling basis.
Yes.
And so it brings uncertainty. So what does that mean for food costs?
Sure. So, Michael, I'm just curious. Do you look at food labels when you're at the supermarket?
Sometimes.
Sometimes you do. Okay, I'm impressed.
Because I'm only at the supermarket sometimes.
Well, when you look at those food labels, you're going to notice something. A lot of them have foreign countries on them.
Yeah.
About 15% of the food that we get here in the U.S. comes from foreign countries, but about half of what you see in the supermarket has something from a foreign country because it's not just the whole thing. Sometimes it's a little ingredient, sometimes it's the packaging. So those will all be impacted eventually by tariffs. And when you look at the total cost to groceries, the numbers crunched say about 2.6%, that we could see food costs go up about 2.6% if the tariffs are in place for the rest of this year. And then in addition to that, when you look especially at those fresh produce costs, those will go up by about 5.4% because they're perishable. So you can't stockpile those. They couldn't get ahead of the tariffs by stockpiling them at grocery stores.
And now we're talking about tariff proofing and tricking the tariffs. So how do we trick the tariffs and get ahead of it?
Okay, so it's important to know areas where you could actually put these things in your pantry and save them for a while and they would still be okay. So for example, we've got coffee right here. Most of our coffee comes from Brazil and Colombia. It's already $7.38 a pound, and that's because of issues surrounding climate and the growth of these beans. If you were to buy coffee now, you could save it in your freezer for up to 6 months. So you would you can save it in your freezer for up to 6 months, so you can really keep yourself safer in that way. Italian staples, okay? So we've got obviously olive oil here. You've got pasta. Those are an area because a lot of those things are coming from Italy. They're coming from foreign countries. You could see that increase as much as 10% with tariffs. So if you wanted to stock up on this, especially if you see it on sale at the grocery store, great idea to do that. Okay, you saw the tuna.
Yeah.
We're talking canned tuna. Most of this is not coming from the United States. It's coming from China, Thailand, Vietnam. It also comes in an aluminum can, which has its own tariff. Aluminum does. So that can really send the price up. It can last for years. Years on your shelf. I think I still have one from about 2 years ago on my shelf right now. I keep it in the refrigerator, by the way, because I like to eat it cold. And then you've got sugar, Michael. Sugar comes from places like Mexico and Brazil. It can be stored for a long time. You can restock it now and keep it in your fridge too so the bugs don't get at it.
I think growing up, my mom had this pasta sitting on her counter for years. I don't know if it was any good,
Exactly.
but she did. But there is some good news when it comes to food, though.
Yes,
Prices.
so there are some pre-existing trade agreements between Mexico and Canada, which means certain things are not going to be tariffed. And then it's an interesting side effect of the tariffs. China has looked like they might stop importing certain things from the U.S.
Yeah.
Like pork, for example, that could send pork prices lower here in the United States. Not great for farmers, but for shoppers.
Not great for farmers, but for shoppers it is.
It's a benefit.
All right, Rebecca, thank you as always.
Thanks,
keeping
Michael.
us on top of all this stuff. And now we're going to go to Lara for Pop News. What you got, Lara?
Thanks, you guys. We're going to begin this morning with brand new music from one of the great voices of all time. Yep, 8-time Grammy winner Barbra Streisand announcing this morning she's dropping a brand new album called The Secret of Life, Partners Volume 2. It's a sequel to her 2014 Platinum certified album, and it's been more than a decade in the works. Take a look at her message to fans.
I've always loved singing duets with gifted artists. They inspire me and make working in the studio a joy. My new album, The Secret of Life, Partners Volume 2, gave me the chance to work and play with some of my old friends and new artists, too.
Oh, it's so exciting. Streisand collaborated on the album with some of the best in the business. We're talking Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, Sting, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, Tim McGraw, James Taylor, Sam Smith. That's just to name a few, because who's saying no to Barbara? This is her first single right here you're listening to. This is the first single from the album. The first time ever I saw your face with Hosier. It's streaming right now. Oh, it's beautiful. The full album, The Secret of Life, is available for pre-order now. It comes out June 27. Happy to have new music from Barbara.
My voices blend so well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Also in pop news this morning, Martin Short following in Michael's footsteps.
Who?
Yeah. The only Murders in the Building star set to host the reboot of the beloved game show, Match Game. Match Game was originally hosted, as you know, by Gene Rayburn. It featured 4 contestants competing for $25,000 as they try to match the answers of celebrities in a game of fill in the blanks. Short will serve as executive producer of the reboot as well. Match Game first premiered back in 1962. It's been revived several times, most recently by Alec Baldwin. He hosted for 5 seasons in 2016. Martin Short, no stranger to celebrity-driven shows either. He hosted a daytime talk show in 1999, and he's guest hosted Jimmy Kimmel Live multiple times. Match Game will air right here on ABC.
Good.
Martin Short, what do you think? I think it's a good choice.
Martin Short, he's going to crush it.
He's going to crush it. He's going to get all his friends on the show.
Yeah, it's going to be funny.
It's going to be great. Yeah. And then finally in pop news, guys, remember yesterday we told you about a really good Samaritan, a very brave man named Doug Hay. He jumped into action when he saw a bald eagle in distress in a lake in Lakewood, Florida. Doug did not hesitate jumping into that alligator-filled lake to save this injured bald eagle from drowning. Well, this morning we are so happy to report the eagle is going to be okay.
Yeah.
The Wildlife Center of Southwest Florida says he is in stable condition and doing great. The center's executive director, in fact, tells us he had to have surgery to repair a really big wound on his keel or breastbone. He's taking antibiotics to prevent infection, but they hope to nurse him back to health so that they can release him back into the wild. And they say this eagle would not be with us without Doug's help. And while they do not officially have a name for him, the director thinks Lucky would be a very appropriate name. And that's pop news.
That's my kind of update.
Yep.
Love that update.
Yep,
Thank you, Lara. There are people who are probably saying, did I just see Ginger in shorts and a tank top? It's all going to make sense because we're getting ready to run the GMA 5K 2 weeks away. Lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamotto, has some great gear to get your race ready, and you can find them all on our website. You look like you're ready to go as well.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
So this combines sound with safety.
That's right. For runners that are looking for incredible sound and safety, we picked the Shox Open Run Pro 2 that you see right here in front of you, Robin. And the reason we picked it is because it uses a combination of bone conduction and air conduction. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It means that bone conduction uses sound vibrations through your cheekbones, right? And air conduction is sending the sound through your ear canal. So the bottom line is you're able to be very safe because you can have situational sound. You can hear cars, you can hear other runners, if somebody's behind you or needs to pass you, right? But you can also hear your tunes. I'm sure you have a good playlist, right?
Excellent.
So these are those. They combine those things. They're also water resistant, which is really important for when you're running in weather or for sweat. But what runners loved most about these is that they stay put, right? You've run it. There's nothing more annoying. Then they start falling out and you're trying to adjust them. This lets you focus on the run. They're $180 and we found them at Walmart.
Well, excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes you want to have your phone with you or
Yes.
something like that. So this is a
Exactly.
waistband?
Do you ever run with your phone?
Yeah, I try to, but it gets cumbersome.
Right. So actually, I just learned this in researching this segment. I've run 7 marathons and I did it the wrong way.
Oh, wow.
Because you're not supposed to run with your phone. Experts say that it disrupts your natural gait and it can affect your postural balance and create imbalance, right? So they really, really stress that you should not hold anything in your hands, especially not for long periods of time, which is why we picked this Nathan Zipster. We found this at REI. It's $40. It's in 3 different sizes. You can just put it on. It expands and conforms to your size, and you can hold everything just with these zippers.
Okay, I've tried the waist. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, so
You have to try this one because it won't bounce.
No, I prefer the armband.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah.
and it is a matter of preference. So this we got from Amazon, 60,000 5-star reviews, under $15. People are obsessed with it because they said they can make calls, listen to their music, and do everything just with one touch. So they love this one. Again, really well reviewed and also very affordable.
The shorts that we have
The shorts. So we have the ultimate do-it-all shorts for our ultimate do-it-all gal here on Ginger. These are the Nike 2-in-1s. What's great about these is you can see underneath they have that compression, and then on the top there's more flow and that airflow. It's
like 2 shorts in one.
It's like 2 shorts in one. And Eva Pilgrim, I'm gonna put her on blast, said she likes it because it makes her feel fast.
Oh wow!
Because the way they flow, right? So they're really great. And Nike.
Yeah, it's very comfy. I mean, I haven't had new clothing in 3 years, so putting on anything new feels pretty amazing.
Well, we hope that you'll take these because they're new from us. They're gifted to you, right? So these are from Nike, again, industry leader. And also, reviewers said that they loved how soft they were and they were sweat wicking. So when you're running, you're doing a 5K, but if you're doing something even longer in hotter weather, these are going to keep you cool and dry. And speaking of cool,
oh, Will, come on.
We can't forget about Will, right?
Cue to enter.
So Will is in our Under Armour. These are also 2-in-1. They have that muscle compression underneath, and then the shorts on the outer layer on top with mesh ventilation. And these also have a hidden phone pocket, which, if you're not following Will on social media, I mean, what are you guys doing? But you're going to be
live streaming during the GMA 5K.
There you go.
Yeah,
See
exactly.
really?
Yeah. Listen, I ran the marathon for the attention, and I'm running the 5K for the attention as well. So I'm going to be live on TikTok. Yeah.
Heart healthy, but also out front.
A little ego boost as well. Never hurt anybody.
So, Ginger, are we the only ones that have not run a marathon?
Correct.
Okay.
But
just
you and I
making
are
sure.
running.
Yeah, we're running, but not a marathon.
But you're doing the 5K,
We're
so
in.
that counts.
Yeah.
And you've got all the gear for you now too, Robin.
do.
Everything's super affordable. Too.
Looking good. I love what you have on here.
Well, I know. Let me go this way. I know a place you can get it, Robin.
Okay. You can shop all of these products on our website. I know where to get it now. Coming up, the stars of Thunderbolts. They are all here live in our little old studio. Come on back. Get it.
Here we go.
I'm pulling a hammy. I'm pulling a hammy.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
All right, we are back now. It's time to have some fun with Marvel's newest group of anti-superheroes, the Thunderbolts, teaming up for the MCU's latest action-packed movie.
But you know, creating a new team does come with a few growing pains,
Yes,
as you will see in this exclusive new clip from Thunderbolts. Check it out.
Oh, no.
Huh. It's coming right at us.
Who is that? It's no one. It's nothing. Oh, God.
Yelena! It's your dad! Don't go in the vault! Valentina's gonna burn you alive! Yelena!
And we always wonder who rolled in the limo like that. Now we know.
Now we know.
And we're joined now by the stars of the film: Florence Pugh, Hannah John Kamen, Wyatt Russell, Geraldine Viswanathan, and Louis Pullman. Hey!
We got him.
Welcome to GMA.
Thank you guys for coming in. We really appreciate it. So we decided to have a little fun by turning this interview into a battle of the bolts. So you guys are going to compete for our GMA Brightest Bolt Trophy. I know.
Tell
You know you want it. You each have a buzzer in front of you. We've done boys versus girls. Let's go, ladies. And the team that answers first wins the round. There are no wrong answers. Feel free to elaborate. Are you ready?
Yes.
Florence is staring at that trophy.
I'm
just realizing
we
we
could.
could.
Basement. Finally, we're able to use that thing.
Well, my advice: if you win it, don't pick it up too fast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's go. First up, sum up the movie in 3 words.
Loud, invigorating, band, passionate.
All right. There's
Oh,
my
wait,
word.
that was such a brain fart.
It's early. It's early.
There are no wrong answers. Just if you feel it,
Let
say
it flow.
Let it flow.
Let it
It's like a
flow.
therapy session, really. Which character is going to keep group morale high? Which character? Oh wow, I gotta give it to Florence
David
again.
Harbour.
Really?
Alexi,
Yep, he keeps the morale up.
All right.
He's so loud.
He's so loud.
You can see that from the clip. Hey, you know, you guys are allowed to get involved. I just want you to know that.
They tried. They did try.
For the boys, we're working on 3 hours of sleep here between the two of us.
All right, here we go. Which character or actor would be fight ready the fastest?
Hannah.
I think it was me. I think it was you.
I think.
Who got the buzzer?
Hannah did. I mean,
But the answer is me.
Florence,
I think people at home.
Florence got it first, and she said Hannah would be fight ready.
Yeah, I'd be fight ready because ghosts can just like disappear just like that.
And also Hannah is really brilliant at stunts. She's always ready to kick. So
Yeah,
it would be both Hannah and Ghost.
Hannah and Ghost.
Guys, I'm so fast this morning.
You are. You're 3-0.
Well, by the way, yesterday we did a little story on you that you jumped off like the second tallest building in the world.
Yes.
I mean, was
We're
it
talking
fun?
about that. We're talking about that later.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I got excited, Michael. All right. So which character is moving the slowest and holding everyone up?
Nice.
There you go, Wyatt.
Nice.
My teammate here.
Thank you. It's an honor to take that.
In the beginning, but then it changes as the movie goes on, so it's a little bit of a
Actor or character?
Yeah.
Would the answer be
Those are 2
different?
different answers.
All right, so we know the character. Who's the actor that would?
It would be
me.
Sebastian.
Or Sebastian.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan. Okay. He's not here to defend himself.
I think he would say himself.
All right, here. What's the best piece of advice anyone got before entering the Marvel Universe?
Oh. Okay.
Why?
Put a zipper in the suit.
Put it. That's a great answer. Great answer.
That's fantastic. Very good advice. Do you have a zipper in the
It
suit?
looked too weird, so we figured something else out.
It's a process getting the costumes on and off.
I bet.
Zippers are
your best friend. Zipper is
That was Sonia. But then we tried it, and it was like too slick, and you're drawing too much attention.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
That's funny.
Good morning,
okay.
America.
During the press tour, who is most likely to accidentally spill an MCU secret?
Yeah, we've been really
hold a
close.
secret?
Nobody's done it. Nobody's
Really?
done a slip up, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
You
so.
get the point for it. Thank you for your honesty.
But if someone did do it, who do you think it might be?
Probably David. But he
Only
also
for good
hasn't.
reason. Just because he'd just be so excited.
He
about
would be
it.
so excited,
Yeah.
but no one has. We're so trained.
No, it's real. We understand. We get it.
And you're speaking of training, as Lara said earlier, you jumped off this, the second tallest building it was one of the epic stunts in the movie. You had to like convince Kevin Feige to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, in addition to Florence, who's the most game for stunts on set?
Me. Me. I love stunts. I love stunts. I love it. I love it.
Did you get to do quite a few of them in the movie?
I do, I do. I love, do you know what? It's just when you do a Marvel movie, like you don't get to do this in your real life. So it's fun to do stunts. And
you don't get scared?
No, I don't walk around and start fights. But it's good.
But you weren't scared standing on that building?
Of course I was. I mean, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
But I think that was knowing that I could control my mind in that way was scarier. Like knowing that I was able to do that 9 times and really keep my breathing calm and my head calm was like, oh, that's worrying. I can persuade myself to do anything.
It's such a personal test and feat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
We saw a glimpse of it. It's pretty spectacular.
Thank you.
Okay. Question. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in villain mode playing Valentina. She is on GMA tomorrow. Our question is, are you ready? What should we ask her?
Do you like us?
Yes.
And I think she'd appreciate answering that
question. That's a confusing one, control room, because Lewis buzzed.
Oh, sorry.
I was honestly, I gotta be real. I went like that and I stopped myself because he started speaking.
Okay. All right. So the W for Florence again.
But what if we share that point because you did the buzz and I did the answer?
Oh, see, this is teamwork, everybody. Teamwork.
That's what we're talking about. Okay, last question. Here we go. What does the asterisk in Thunderbolts stand for?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Is there really an answer, or are you just telling me
there
that?
Is an answer.
Oh, there is.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Hannah wants to win. Hannah wants to win.
Hannah, that was a good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
And you World of Secrets is real.
You have to watch the movie to find out.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And guess what? You have to watch the whole movie to find out because.
So you got to.
I nearly said it.
One of my favorite things though is staying through all the credits, like sitting there watching all the extras.
Well,
all right.
If you love you're gonna love Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Yes. Good
I already love it, man. I already love it.
I'm going to be very careful as I pick this up and present the trophy.
Who are you presenting it to? Who's the winner? The winner is
the women. But everyone's a winner. You guys, congratulations on the film.
We can put so much popcorn in there.
Yes, you can, or whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Trifle.
Hey, we are so excited. We're going to watch it through the credits. Everybody is, you guys.
Yep.
You're all awesome. Thank you.
Thank
We appreciate
you.
it. Thank you for having some fun with
Thanks.
us this morning. And Thunderbolts, it strikes theaters nationwide this Friday. And our guy, Louis Pullman, he's going to join GMA3 later today, so he's not going anywhere. And he's going to tell us even more. And tomorrow, Julia Louis-Dreyfus will be here live.
April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and according to the Parkinson's Foundation, nearly 90,000 people in the U.S. are diagnosed with the disease each year. Will is back to tell us how a new device is being used to treat it.
Hey, Robin, this is remarkable. And recent research shows the number of people living with Parkinson's disease could double by the year 2050. And while there is no known cure, this new device may make life easier for some of the 1 million people in the U.S. living with the disease, like Rand Laycock, who has found a renewed passion and purpose and ability a decade into living with Parkinson's.
Rand Laycock is a man of many talents, including conducting music. Another, perhaps more hidden talent is managing the movement disorder Parkinson's disease for the past 10 years. And as the former music teacher's tremors and freezes worsened, he worried he would have to stop what he loved the most, bringing a score to life.
I would imagine that your Parkinson's diagnosis was difficult for many reasons, especially so because it would impact your ability to teach and conduct music.
That became a real concern of mine because I thought, what am I going to be able to conduct or not? It was getting to the point that I would start rehearsal and I'd be kind of frozen. And, this was starting to get embarrassing. I thought, am I going to have to give this up? Which would have killed me. luckily, the cavalry came at the right time.
Rand's White Knight, a newly FDA-approved adaptive deep brain stimulation, or DBS, device. Electrodes implanted in Rand's brain send small electrical signals based on his brain activity, a sort of pacemaker for the brain. The device provides therapy for the misfiring signals in real time.
It's always in my right hand.
Here's the device turned off, and then turned on. Instant relief, and a steadier hand for conducting.
Each patient's reason for DBS is different. It's going to be to help their tremor, to reduce their medication burden. It can reduce the medication side effects.
It's been tremendous. It doesn't eliminate the problems, but it makes them much more manageable.
What did that feel like emotionally?
It made it so that I wasn't thinking about Parkinson's all day long.
That had to be nice.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Wonderful indeed. Rand had his surgery at the Cleveland Clinic, which was involved in the research to develop these devices and was one of the first sites in the U.S. to implant them. And since then, Rand is back at the gym. He's working out, getting stronger. That will also help with his Parkinson's. Guys, he said he feels like a cloud has been lifted. Really
Well, I'll
happy.
bet he does. Okay, well, thanks very much. It's been our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula. Pretty remarkable story.
It is.
Right there. Can this device work for a lot of other people?
Yeah, well, we know that this device is really meant for individuals who are on medication and are still having symptoms or having side effects from the medication, this deep brain stimulation. The hallmark of treatment is generally starting with medication that basically increases dopamine in the brain or mimics dopamine. This is the neurotransmitter that we know is lost in patients with Parkinson's. There are some other surgical procedures, ultrasound, and then ways to treat Parkinson's like exercise. That's a big one. We know that's important for balance and mobility, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. So there are definitely different ways to approach it, but a very, difficult disease like so many of the other degenerative, progressive neurologic disorders that really don't have a cure.
And it seems it presents itself differently with each patient. But what are the first signs and symptoms that we should look for?
Yeah, it can be tricky because it can kind of progress over years. So definitely it usually starts on one side of the body and then becomes on both sides of the bodies you'll see symptoms. But the hallmark is this triad of essentially a tremor. We call it a resting tremor, a pill rolling tremor. So you may see somebody with their thumb and their finger kind of going back and forth as if they're rolling a pill. That presents in about 70 to 80% of patients. Then we think about something called bradykinesia or hypokinesia, which is slowness of movement. So this means it's maybe hard to get out of a chair, get up from a car. They have a shuffling sort of walk, difficult to use their hands to maybe type or use a computer mouse, buttons or tie their shoes. And then things like rigidity, that's the third one. So when they're walking, they're not really swinging their arms, they're sort of stooped over. And then there can be non-motor symptoms, so depression, constipation, loss of smell, hallucinations, cognitive changes. Some other things to look out for: small handwriting, a masked appearance to the face, and a low sounding voice.
And what advice do you have for those who are caring for someone with Parkinson's?
So this is so important. So certainly they should get educated about the disease to be understanding of what is going to happen. They need to take time for themselves to set realistic goals. There are so many support groups out there. But I think one thing that we don't often talk about is care for caregivers, right? It's incumbent on all of us. If you watched the documentary on Will's family, there's a beautiful moment in there, just to tie it back, where he finds his mother's journal and talks about the isolation and the loneliness. And for so many caregivers, it is that quiet suffering because it is such an emotional, physical burden to kind of care for someone else. So it's incumbent upon us. We also recently heard Emma Willis say something similar, which was that caregivers need care too, right? So that they can continue to care for those they love. So we should all reach out to those people, make sure they're okay, see how we can help them as well.
Wow, good advice. Thank you
very much. And you were so caring with your daughter who's here with us. You've been holding hands with her. Michael was like being a little guard over here. Leila, her name's Leila?
Her name's Layla.
Layla.
Yes,
Layla.
she's with me today.
Yeah. But wasn't last week bring your kid to school?
It was. Our nanny isn't here today, so she's here with me this morning, and then I'm taking her to school.
Oh, it's so terrible. It's so hard. But she is adorable.
Say hi, Layla.
Okay. Do you really have to get on the treadmill on Sundays? Yeah. Okay,
See?
busted. Coming up, a Marvel superhero uses his powers to make a wish come true. Come on back.
We are back with Disney's Week of Wishes, honoring 45 years of partnering with Make-A-Wish and helping fulfill more than 165,000 wishes for deserving kids. What a story, Lara.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, George. So the first wish was granted in 1980 when a 7-year-old boy was granted his wish to visit Disneyland. Well, now more than 4 decades later, we are celebrating Disney's first Week of Wishes with Thunderbolts star Sebastian Stan helping one Marvel fan's dream come true, making her birthday more special than ever.
18-year-old Aurora Dennison is a lifelong dancer with an unforgettable smile. So it might surprise some people to learn she's been battling a chronic gastrointestinal disorder and debilitating arthritis for much of her life.
I always have bad days, and that's probably gonna be how the rest of my life looks like.
So you can do something about it now or live with it forever.
But one larger-than-life hero helps her get through bad days, and that's Marvel character Bucky Barnes.
And I was feeling really low that day, and I think I was crying. And I picked up my phone, and it just happened to be open to, it was either Bucky or Sebastian Stan. And next thing I knew, I was laughing.
So when the Make-A-Wish Foundation invited Aurora and 3 other super fans to the set of Marvel's Thunderbolts, the Maryland native was thrilled.
I was so grateful that I got to hug this person who had done so much for me.
Aurora was amazing because she seemed to know everything about Bucky, maybe even better than I did.
Aurora and her hero even exchanging dog tags.
This one is Sebastian Stan's. He seemed so happy and willing to do it for me.
Sebastian also presenting Aurora with cupcakes to celebrate her 18th birthday.
I can't even express the words to express how thankful I am and how happy it made my heart to see the joy in Aurora.
I think any time that we have an opportunity to interact face to face and just see the amount of joy and gratitude that some of these kids have, you know, just from a simple hello, fills you up.
I wanted to make sure that I got the chance to tell them how much it did for me, and I got to do that, and I'm so grateful.
And we're so grateful that you were able to do that. So did you know that Disney grants a wish every hour of every day? So if you're interested in getting involved with Make-A-Wish, visit wish.org/Disney or go to our website to learn more.
Some things it's best you not know.
Yes, it's been a fun morning, though.
Have a great day, everybody. Oh, my goodness.